Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Andrew G, and welcome to episode 25 of my podcast, The Public Affair. Thank you guys all again so much for your support and helping this podcast reach episode 25. That's freaking crazy, man, and we're almost at the end of the year. I'm just really grateful for how well this podcast is doing. It's because of the help of you guys, so thank you so much. And of course, shout out to my producer, Mike Hamilton with Rogue Media Network, for helping make this podcast where it's at today. Thanks, man. All right, so before we get started with this highly requested special guest, and it's gone to his head immediately, I want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Arjon Painting with my boy Juan Arjon. He's a local family-owned paint company that specializes in residential homes, both interior and exterior. He'll give you the best quality guarantee. So if you need some home painting done, hit it my boy Juan Arjon with Arjon Painting on the number on the screen. To B&J Refinishing with Frank Baiza. He focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to original showroom quality. 5-year warranty on most work, and he offers the best prices in town, so he's not going to break those pockets. Thank you so much, Frank Baiza, for sponsoring The Public Affair. Frank also has a company called Co-Town Tint. Thank you for sponsoring with that company, Frank. They are a new company. Mobile tint and detailing business. They offer the best high quality film and products and will be all competitor prices. So Co-Town Tint with Frank Baiza. Thank you so much. If you guys need a good tint, make sure you call the number on the screen. To Red Rhino Flooring with Luis Flores. He specializes in all types of floor installations, including building custom shower tiles and cabinets, kitchen backsplashes, and full home renovations. So if you need any of the work done, make sure you hit up my boy Luis Flores with Red Rhino Flooring. To Fatboy Michelada and Botana and Serrano's Carnita with Junior Banda and Miguel Serrano. They work together to bring you the best micheladas, botanas, and carne seca that you'll ever have. Locally operated, and you can get something for yourself or for a party. Make sure you get the best and not the rest, darling. Thank you to Fatboy Michelada and Botana. To Pollo Box and Audio, PB&A with Jeffrey Monreal. He focuses on installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. He's kind of a jack of all trades. So make sure you hit up Jeffrey Monreal with Pollo Box and Audio on the number on the screen. And of course, to Crossroads Realty with Tony Garcia. He's a local real estate agent. He'll help you buy a home or sell your home. He services Waco and all the surrounding areas, so make sure you hit him up for all your real estate needs. Thank you so much, Tony Garcia. More to come. All right, guys, so I'm really excited about this episode. It was kind of in the works for a little bit. Me and this guy had to have a talk before we had him on the episode. He was highly requested, and it's only appropriate that I had him on the show. I want you guys to help me introduce my radio boss and La Ley legend, Jaime Martinez Mejia. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Or should I just say Jaime de La Ley?
Jaime de La Ley. Kind of like the legend. Kind of like the legend thing. But
yeah, but when people think of La Ley, they think of Jaime.
Really?
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I will say that you were highly requested to be on the show. There was a lot of people that I was announcing.
I know. I saw Juan Arjon.
Yeah. I love Juan Arjon. Love him so much. He knows how to throw down. Every time I go collect payment from him, he wants to have a party. But a lot of people wanted to have you on the show. And
thank you.
Part of the reason why I didn't have Jaime on the show is, for one, he is my radio boss. And so I think that when it comes to any situation in the workplace, there's going to be those two people that butt heads, and I was butting heads with Jimmy for a long time. And because he was highly requested and I didn't want to hold a grudge, and I invited him to brunch at Butter My Biscuit, and we sat down and we just had a conversation about what I was upset about. And I think we had a really good conversation. I said it's only appropriate that you come onto The Public Affair. So I would say that we had a really good conversation.
I think we had a good conversation. Yeah. Part of it is, work, work stress.
Yeah.
I think work situations, and I'm not going to go into every detail because that's not the point.
It's not necessary.
But at the end of the day, like I told you, it was more like sometimes when it's kind of hard to. You know how it is.
No, I feel what you mean, and again, I just thought the conversation was necessary.
Of course,
because like we promote.
We both cried. We both yelled. I'm just kidding.
Well, we promote authenticity on the public affair. And so before I could have like a real fun conversation with you, I didn't want to bring you on and have just be angry with you and only have you on because the guests or the audience wanted you on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. That's cool.
So I was just like, all right, let's have a talk. And Jimmy, you got to come on the show. Like you have to. Like Jimmy is the reason why I even started on radio because he hired me. So thank you for that opportunity.
You want me to tell a story about that?
Well, I've told the story 100 times, Jimmy.
There's one part you always leave out.
What did I leave out?
The one part that you don't remember.
Okay, what is it?
Remember that guy you yelled and told him, "Hey, I just got a show."
The news reporter.
Yeah, he's the one that got shot.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God,
yes.
I didn't know.
I'm not trying to be funny. Yeah.
No. Oh wow, he got shot like with a gun.
Remember outside the studio, the TV?
No,
that was him.
Oh wow. Okay, no, I didn't know that. Wow, is he okay?
No, he's fine.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I just wanted to. I mean, that's kind of rude to say that. It's kind of
no, I didn't know who he was. I still to this day I can't pick him out of the line of people.
I never told you that. I was always I meant to tell you.
Well, thank you for letting me know that. But yeah, so Jaime. Jimmy de Lale. He is the program director for Power 108 and Lale and Latino, correct? Yes, correct. And so he hired me to be on Power 108 on the weekend shows 5 years ago, so he's been my boss ever since. Before we get started with the actual interview, I just need you to clarify that the public affair and the radio station are not coincided.
We do not have anything to do with it. We have legally, friend-wise, I'm glad you have this podcast. Let me tell you something about podcasts and DJs.
Okay.
Usually when DJs get fired, they do podcasts. You're like
really?
one of the first DJs that actually has a podcast while they're on the radio.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I just wanted to clarify that because, we're not going to name names or anything, but somebody did make a complaint about a prior episode that I had in the past to Jimmy. I thought that was so cute when you told me. And so, I was like,
well, they see me as, they assume everything you do is with me.
Yeah.
I gave you my thoughts on that, and I think we leave it at that. I mean,
definitely.
It's my opinion. That's it.
But I thought it was cute that there was a kind of like a complaint filed against me to you about my podcast. And again, it's just fun. Well, and people would think so too, because I had a lot of people think that this podcast was associated with the radio station, and like, oh, you get the followers and everything because of the radio station. Like Power 108, PMG has the least amount to do with this podcast.
And I think you both complement each other.
For the most part.
Yeah.
You're talking about for the radio station.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You both complement each other in the sense that I think you still have a lot more fans that are finding out about this here, and some are finding out about
Well, I just knew that it was going to be absolutely necessary to not, have both mixed
get a disclosure,
together.
yeah.
Well, because and then this is also not, like we're not. What is it? FCC.
Yeah.
So we can curse. So you can say like fuck and pussy. Yeah, you can say all those words. Yeah.
I'm excited now.
Yeah. So if you guys do have any complaints to file about the public affair, the number is on the Facebook page at the public affair, and that's my number.
Has anybody complained?
You know what? And this is what I wanted to tell you, and why I appreciated our conversation so much, and why I felt like it was necessary. Because somebody did make a complaint about an episode that I did a few episodes ago. They listened to the episode. I don't want to name which one, but I talked about it a little bit, and they weren't happy about a particular story that we were telling because it kind of had to do with them. But I think the person, they're a little bit older generation, so they didn't understand that we didn't mean no harm by it. But what I appreciated about that person, and I told the guest too, was that they called me. That they called me, and that's what men don't do these days, and that's what we need to do, because he called me and said, hey, I have a problem with this. I didn't like that you said this, and we just talked about it, agreed to disagree, and I said, I respect you so much for doing that. And then after I had that conversation with him, I was like, I gotta have a conversation with my boss, because I can't just be working there and be pissed off at him. You know what I mean? Fine. Yeah, so I did. I had one complaint, but we good. We smoothed it over, and we talked about it, and it's all good.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and start. So first of all, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And booking you on the show, like I said, had a lot to do with us having that conversation. Why don't you explain to the people who may not know who you are, which whatever, tell us who Jaime Martinez is.
Well, I started in radio a while back, and I started like many people that start in radio as board ops, part-time DJs.
Okay.
Now I'm the program director I started as program director back in 2004 for LA 104.1. No, 2003.
2003. Okay.
Yeah. 2004.
I wasn't even here. Yeah.
And you were probably still playing.
I was in New York. Yeah, I was playing Pokemon. Sure was.
Yeah,
yes, I was. Yes.
And it just grew from there. I eventually got hired to move to Austin to run Border Media.
Yeah.
I ran stations there in Austin.
Okay.
A cluster of several stations there in Austin and San Antonio, Laredo, and Waco. So that's how I started in radio.
Now, you're from Waco? Did you grow up in Waco?
You can say I can. Well, family's from Mexico, of course.
Yeah.
I was actually born in Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, fun fact.
Windy City. But I mean, lived in Mexico here. You know, moved around.
You've been all over the place.
Yeah, well, not all over the place. Some places.
Well, I'm from the north too. So I mean, I'm from New York.
Love New York though.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it's great.
Everybody hates it, but
man,
it's just expensive.
Everything. The atmosphere. People don't bother you.
But did you grow up the majority like here in Waco? Or, like,
yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you went to like elementary, like
more later on.
Where's your high school at?
Waco High.
Okay, because everybody shouts out their high school, but nobody shouts out their college. Did you go to college?
Yeah.
What'd you go to college?
MCC.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why you acting? Jimmy, stop acting so shy. You guys
I'm not acting shy. I'm just like, nobody's asking me. It's kind of weird because everybody always just like, oh, he just showed up in the radio one day.
Because you know what? Like a lot of people think like I didn't go to college at all. Like I don't even have basics. I never even stepped foot to
Well, I
apply,
also did some at Baylor, KWBU.
Oh, okay.
That's where I first started radio with my friend Javier Campos.
Okay.
Javier Campos later on went to MTV and program director.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And now he's working with artists in Colombia. He's the one that gave me my opportunity, you can say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he hot?
I don't know, man.
Almost got you, Jimmy. Stop. No. You know, people talk. Anyway.
Oh, God.
No, you know, so, okay, you grew up here. You went to Waco High. You know, a lot of my guests either went to Waco High or university. And, you know, for whatever reason, everybody likes to shout out their high school, which is fine. I went to Midway. So, But no, I was going to say a lot about the radio station. A lot of people think that we went to college for this and stuff like that for broadcasting.
I didn't go to college for broadcasting at all.
Okay.
I took a class, one class. It was more like you can say hobby type deal.
Okay.
And then I got involved with DJing. I've been involved with DJing, kind of like, but I never kind of compare both. They're so different. People associate both of them with that, but it's not.
Well, I didn't go to college for anything, and I just got hired on the radio station, so that was pretty cool.
You just showed up one day, didn't you?
Well, no, I told everybody like I did an internship for a minute.
I thought you were Chrissy's friend, just hanging out with her. In the
well,
beginning.
you would have friends come in all the time, and I was like, I can't talk to those people because you know what? I thought Lale was like the juggernauts when I first started. Like the door was always closed at the studio because for anybody who doesn't know, Power 108 and Lale, they're like across from each other.
Yeah, we're across.
Yeah, like down the hall.
Well,
basically.
because when one of the things we get, one of the reasons why the door sometimes is closed is because when we're on the air, we're loud.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're not like this. You know, Power 108 is like Power 108 coming up and you.
Yeah.
¿Cómo estamos, compadre?
Yeah. You got to do your radio voice for everybody because Jimmy, our radio, I feel like people like differentiate our voices between radio voice and like just regular talking voice.
Most people hear me mostly in Spanish, not in
English.
Yeah.
You can talk Spanish if you want to.
Pues si quieres hablo español.
So how would you say life for you growing up was, Jimmy? I mean, was there any adversities that you had to deal with, or was it pretty simple? Or?
Actually, like every family, we had issues, problems. But grew up with both of my parents, which my mom and dad, hardworking people, I can say that. My brothers and sisters, you know, we were 5 in total, and you know, we beat up each other and everything.
Are you the youngest? Or are you the middle? Or
I'm the oldest one.
Are you the oldest, really?
I'm the oldest one.
I can tell.
Yeah. Oh, God. Thank you.
Okay. So about your career in radio, let's go back to that.
Okay.
So remind us all where you started. Like, so first of all, what made you want to be in it? Like, how did that even happen?
I always liked radio. When I was growing up, I would sit in front of the radio and record with cassette songs. That's how I learned how to program. A lot of people don't realize. I realized your hot songs were coming out at certain times. And that's how I got the clock. I never thought I was going to be in radio, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
I went into La Ley, which at that time was called Es La Mía.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was called Es La Mía. I don't know, a horrible name.
What year was that?
2002.
Oh, shit.
It was I remember because it was the World Cup. That's the only reason.
Oh, really?
So I went up there and they told me to participate in some contest. Nobody ever won. It was a big mess. They fired. You think, hey, I'm actually I have never told you the stories of my two programs.
No, you haven't, but that's what we're here for.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Just a lot of addictions and issues. I don't like to talk about people because they're not here to defend themselves with a microphone, but they both have microphones so they can reply back. So.
Remember how powerful our voices can be behind the mic. Remember we had that conversation.
Well, that's the thing. The only reason why I mention it is because they have microphones.
Oh, gotcha.
So they can come at me and I can come at them. So
hey, well, as long as they're
I'm not trying to be ugly about it.
No. As long as they're getting people to view into the public affair, it's nothing. At the public affair on YouTube. So
and it was pretty bad back then.
Okay,
I'm not gonna go into details, but it was bad.
No, but that's what we were saying. Like any job, I mean, you had your differences.
Yeah, the differences. I mean,
and this was at La Mia, whatever it's called.
Yeah, well, it was La Mia, and then another name I don't want to mention because somebody else has it now.
Oh, okay.
They say.
I think I know. I think we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. And then we changed names for about 2 years when we were on Migo Broadcasting.
Okay.
And then this guy named Tom Castro bought the stations around 2005. And we changed the name to La Ley.
Okay.
I got to work with some crazy fun guys like El Chulo y La Bola, Raúl Bernal, who's over there with a Chiquilín, friend of ours too, who at La Grande. Got to work with them in Austin. And my mentor, there's two guys that I learned a lot from radio.
Right.
Bob Perry, who was the consultant.
Okay.
And also Romeo Herrera, who was a legend in Mexico City.
I thought he was going to say Romeo Santos. I was like, wait. What station was that at?
No. He was Grupo Acid back in a while back. And he, a legend. He pretty much taught me everything I know about radio. Changed my life. When I met him and Bob Perry, completely changed my thinking about radio.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. But it was something that you kind of always wanted to do. I mean, like.
I always wanted to do. I was doing it wrong until I met them. I'm doing
it raw, Jimmy?
Let me take a drink.
Oh, okay. You can take a drink. That's fine.
No, I'm just joking. No, it's one of those things that it's shut up and listen because these guys know what they're doing. And I learned about a lot, and I got to meet another guy, Jose Santos, also a good guy who's a consultant. And now with Ken Phillips also, who's our consultant now. He's a really smart guy.
Never met him.
No, you never met him? No, okay. I believe Chrissy has. I think that day you were.
Yeah. Well, you guys have to remember I'm part-time, so I don't really see anybody.
We only see you like sometimes like Christmas parties.
Well, I'm there every day during the week to
or like potluck lunches. You show up.
Well, I haven't been to a potluck lunch in a long time.
We haven't had COVID kind of ended all
COVID,
that.
Yes, but the Christmas parties, I'm going to be there.
Yeah, so, I don't think it's happening anymore.
Probably not, right?
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, COVID.
Because we have some pretty lit Christmas parties.
We do.
Yeah,
especially
remember
when
you guys. Well, you remember you guys got really nervous because I went up to Bill and was like being really erratic.
Yeah, you told him to shut up.
I did not tell him to shut up.
Well, pretty much went.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, Bill, thank you. Like, we're here to party. You know, it was so cute. I told this on the episode when Chrissy was here that Cynthia called me into the office. Cynthia's our business manager, who I love, and she called me into the office the next night. She saw me. She's like, "Yeah, we're gonna limit you to 2 drinks next time."
Yeah.
She texted me the year after at the next Christmas party. She's like, "We're gonna limit you to 2 drinks," and by the time she got there, I was down 2 bottles.
Legendary.
They
were legendary. They were legendary.
We had some good parties.
Actually, I think you told. Thank you for the opportunity, Bill. Like, okay, well, Andrew, we were all like,
because you know what, Jimmy,
I turned and looked at Gavilan. We were like,
because I told this to Chrissy. I was like, look, there's a time and place for everything, and business is not for parties. And for parties, I'm here to. If you want to talk business, you have 364 other days of the week to contact me through normal business hours and say, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Not at the Christmas party when I'm 2 bottles
it's still politics involved.
You guys can focus on the politics.
The owner's gonna pay for the tab, and we were. We were ordering bottles left and right.
Sure. Somebody ordered Patron and nobody would have admitted to it. Remember?
I think that was
so-and-so.
No, Alfonso. I think it was Alfonso and Julio. No, what's that guy? What's his name? I forgot his name. Anyway,
Alfonso used to work on LA.
Yeah,
Alfonso. If you're watching this, I had the biggest crush on him. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I'm not even fucking lying. Like I wanted him to be gay if he wasn't. But
you know what? Yeah, kind of resemble each other.
Do we?
Yeah, I mean, if you wear a hat,
so.
Yeah, you
Shut up. No, we don't. First of all, he's a lot thinner than me. What was his radio name? Oh, I forget.
Alfonso. Fernando. Fernando.
Because I saw him eating by himself one time. I was really sad. I was like, but anyway, shout out to Fed. I love him so much. So I did. I loved him a lot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, listen. Okay, so let's talk about. We talked about your career. So. You became PD. You've been PD since I was there, right?
I've been PD. Actually, I took over Power 108 around 5 years ago, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so that's when I started. Yeah. Because I think there was a guy there, Dustin, when I started, and I don't know if he was the PD. I don't remember.
Well, actually, we didn't have a PD.
Oh, okay.
It was more by committee, and I kind of took over the.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Okay, so when I started in radio, I was working a lot with Chrissy.
Yes.
And so we would go to remotes and stuff like that. And Cynthia had me going to Don Carlos and giving away Usher tickets and shit like that. And then I had the opportunity to do.
You got a lot better, no?
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. Well, I mean, God, a lot of it was I was green.
No, you were green. We don't. People think you go in there and we have time to teach you. It's hard for me to teach anybody.
Yeah.
Just give you advice. Do this, do that. It's very difficult because we're a small staff. Nowadays, radio is small staff and we have millions of tests.
Well, exactly. And a lot of people don't realize the things behind the scenes, the producing and all that.
The engineering.
The computer stuff. And that's all the boring stuff. And me and Chrissy talked about.
That's what I do.
So, but what is, you hired me. What does Jaime look for in hiring talent? For anybody who wants a career in radio?
The number one thing is, for me, is to love the station first.
Okay.
The one thing a lot of people need to realize is the station's always going to be there.
Yeah.
You can be the greatest jock. You can get fired tomorrow. The station's going to continue.
Yeah.
And people might miss you, but they'll forget.
Yeah, I got you.
Radio, TV is like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the
and
best.
Hardworking.
Well, that was one of the best advice that you gave me, when I started, because I was like, what do you have to tell for me or whatever? And he was that's exactly what he said. He said, you have to remember that Power 108 is going to be Power 108, regardless if Andrew G is on there or not.
Another,
Yeah, and I have to also say, too, Jaime did give me my radio name, Andrew G, because I asked him, I wanted to be Andres when I first started, but that was a little bit too Spanish for Power 108. So he was like, just call yourself Andrew G, you know.
Andrew G, yeah.
Yeah, and so, you know, but, you know, it's definitely my name now, so you can't, like, own the rights
Becky G kind of stole it.
Well, no, Becky G, we have the same last name, ironically enough, yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, yeah, so for advice to anybody who wants to be on the radio or whatever, like, I mean, is there anything that you can tell them?
Well, the only advice is, a lot of people are going to like you. A lot of people are going to hate you. A lot of people are going to criticize you, say he shouldn't be on the air. A lot of people are going to try to humiliate you.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. You just have to have a tough skin for that.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's the moment I realized, I never told you this. I was at a remote at Allen Samuels. And this guy came up.
Yeah.
And he goes, I only listen to Power 108 from 8 to 10.
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, oh, cool. I'm like, oh, cool. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Andrew G, he's great. He goes, yeah, he's my son.
Oh, that's my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that is.
He told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, that is such a great support. You know, I'm like, wow, I was really proud of you. You know?
Yeah. Well,
it reminded me of one thing.
Well, it was my dad.
Yeah. No, but still, it reminded me of one thing. My grandmother.
Oh, really?
My grandmother used to listen to me every day.
Okay.
Every day. And
Right.
then she would call my mom to text her to tell me to play a song. Usually cadetas.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that.
I
Thanks
got
to
you.
your dad. I
No,
know
yeah. Well, and everybody, yeah, my parents have been great supporters when it comes to that. They were, I mean.
And that's good.
Yeah, they told the whole family. I mean, that was, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't get hired to be on the radio. It's
No.
not like applying like at McDonald's and
There's not
everybody
that
can get
many
hired.
of us out there.
Yeah, and so I feel like it's like a really big exclusive kind of job where it's like, oh, I'm on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, everybody just can't have that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you and I both know very well, like, when we get into radio, how many people, like, hit us up for free things. And, like,
Can you play my music?
Oh, my God. How many mixtapes have you gotten?
I don't want to comment. The problem with that is this.
Okay, explain to everybody, please, because and let me just elaborate before you continue with that. Like, everybody thinks that we're like the next big, like, we're the next step to their big break, and radio is just so much more political than that. You know what I mean?
Politics and one thing also, and it's hard to explain to people. We don't make hits.
Yeah.
We play the hits.
Gotcha.
And when you tell somebody who's put all their life work into a song,
Yeah.
and you tell them I can't do nothing to them,
Right.
they look at you like the biggest jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, the song can be great or cannot. I don't know. But I think there's a lot of more ways to do it now
Right.
than before. You got internet, you got YouTube.
Yeah.
I think each artist, the best thing is to promote themselves.
I agree with that too, and you know, I try to explain that to a lot of people. It's like, you know, I wish that I could play your mixtape or your song, and some people have sent me songs. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's scientific.
Yeah.
It's scientific. I don't want to get into a nerdy episode.
No,
know?
you can. It's fine.
Yeah, you know, we actually have people with freaking dials, and if it sucks, they'll turn it off and say this shit sucks.
Yeah, really.
And if they turn it up, that's music test.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure they do music research.
Right.
They do all sorts of stuff. It's not like I'm just sitting there. Oh, this song sounds great. No, it's not like that. You know, I like this song. I like this fucking song. No.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's some songs that I like. We don't even play.
Well, exactly. I feel like listen, we don't have "Rain on Me" by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande on Power 108. What's up? We didn't load
it
that
still
song.
hasn't.
I know it was the number one song,
bit,
Jimmy. Anyway, not to put him on the
Actually,
spot.
we do.
Do we?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look. Oh, by the way, I need off tonight. So anyway,
Okay, bye. We're gonna cover that.
I meant to throw that in there, like while we were talking,
Yeah.
Because you know, as we're recording this,
Nice way to ask off. You know, put me on point.
Well, yeah. Well, that way you can't say no for everybody, right?
Yeah.
I loaded the shows and we're good. So anyway, you know, so when it came to hiring, okay, so we told the story about how I got hired at Power 108.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of legendary now.
Yeah, well, it is, isn't it? Like, we were at the Wine and Food Festival and I was lit. And so what, like, I remember.
You usually were.
Well, you know, I cut back on the drinking a lot. I did. Because, you know, I'm not going to lie, I used to drink a little bit before the show, like this show,
really?
The Public Affair. I did. And then
I should hide this.
No, you can drink it. It's cool. Like, I sometimes we have a shot on here too. Like, it's nothing. But I used to go before, even on the radio. I've done once.
Yeah, I smelled it one time. Kind of smelled like.
Well, I mean, he did not smell nothing. He's lying. But anyway, once or twice I've had some drinks before the show, and I'm like, I gotta loosen up. You know what I mean? Because to this day, even
you still go nervous.
Yeah,
Really?
even doing this, and then we're on. This is episode 25.
Wow.
And I get like diarrhea nervous before I get started. I don't know why.
Know that.
But yeah, even on Power 108, right before we get started, I'm like, okay, I don't know, like, you know, whatever. Is it gonna be good? This and that. So to this day, it still makes me nervous. But,
Wow.
yeah, but you know, then
How about we getting in front of crowds?
No, getting in front of crowds is nothing. Like
really?
I can do that.
Because I noticed when we have events, you go up there and you act like nothing. I mean,
sure do.
it's like the more people, the more energized you get. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about hiring me, because I kind of want to like behind the scenes and all that. I came to you and I said, hey, I really want to be like on air. And then you said, okay, this is what you're gonna do. We have what's called air checks, which are kind of like demos, like how you sound on the radio. And then I got a key to the studio to record. I remember there was one DJ there who you told to teach me to record, and then he didn't, because he said he didn't want me to be better than him.
Okay.
He no longer works there.
Okay.
But and so when it came to hiring me, I mean, like what was it like behind, like were you scared to kind of take a chance? Because you don't just hire anybody to be on the radio.
I wasn't scared of taking a chance, because I can also go in there and tell you, hey, Andrew, it didn't work out.
Yeah. That's what I was nervous about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there and you showed commitment.
Yeah.
You were still there, not getting paid. And to me, it's like, this guy wants a shot. This guy came to talk to me. Chrissy also put in a good word. Cynthia also put in a good word.
Sweet, yeah.
And
because I will not to interject, I sent my air checks to Chrissy and to Cynthia mainly.
No wonder.
And I think I sent it to the other guy too, but he just never gave me Chris's.
Yeah. Well, I locked Kutis in there for almost a year.
Love Kutis. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to make.
Shout out to Kutis. Yeah.
He also did voice. Voice checks. That's why I'm saying those voice checks. He also started with that.
Got you. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and that day I was gonna tell you like Monday, but I don't see this guy much. So we're sitting there at the table with food. I'm getting my plate, and I'm like, oh, by the way, Andrew, are you ready to go on the air? And I don't know exactly.
Excuse me. We were sitting down, and I was like out of it. Okay, it was.
No, you were about to sit down.
I was either sitting down or about. Listen, I was drunk. Regardless, we were at the Wine and Food Festival, and I was already hammered because
you started yelling.
I don't sip on my wine, and that was my first time at the Wine and Food Festival. Yeah. And we sat down at the table. I remember the circle of the table, and I was just sitting there like, oh my god, this is like terrible. You know what I mean? Because wine drunk and beer drunk is two different drunks.
It's two different
Okay.
things.
So, because wine drunk, I'll sleep with somebody. But beer drunk, I just, like, I feel bloated. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh God. And so Jaime was there. And we were all there, and he was like, hey guys, we're gonna hire Andrew G for Saturday Night Mix Show. And everybody's like, oh my God, congrats. And I was like, huh? I was like, really?
You got up and you're like, I got my own show. Yeah, right? And that guy was walking with his plate. He's like, oh, okay, good.
He was like, yeah, that's cool. Remember? And I was like, let's go drink some more. We fucking partied. Yeah, it was great.
We were inside that building. It was they moved it every year.
They do, yeah.
I think it was downtown 301 where it was.
I don't remember where it's at.
It's gone now.
Okay. Yeah, we were inside the building because we got the VIP. What's up?
Bigger glasses too.
So that's how Jaime hired me. And he was just like kind of outside. He's like, just not.
Okay, maybe I should have told him until
maybe
Monday.
Next week.
But I was like, maybe you should have told him.
Well, thank you for, thank you for that opportunity.
Hey, no problem.
Once again, it's an opportunity that a lot of people don't get.
No.
And I will say that
people look up to you too.
I think that's great. Thank you. And even though we don't like aspire to be role models, I think that we're just kind of put in that place.
I think you are a role model.
Okay.
And I mean, I think you are a role model. I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, thank you for hiring him.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I mean, it's not I know it's, the gay thing is not, I mean, I don't know if that's the right way to say it.
No, say whatever you want, yeah.
I've had...
I don't give a fuck.
No, I know. But I mean, I don't want people to say the gay,
but that's fine.
But people come up to me and people are like, oh my God, thank you for giving Andrew G an opportunity on the air because, makes me feel...
We didn't really have it.
Yeah, he's like this guy told me he's like one of us, and I feel very, he told me that I'm like, okay, great, and he was like, they look up. I mean, he looked up to you, and he gave me, and I'm like, oh,
Well, that's really good to know, and I will say too that like when I started, I had a little bit of a hard time because I had a full-time job at the time as well. And so that job required you to be a little bit more like, together, not acting all erratic.
Yeah.
And then I remember like Hector and Cynthia and everybody would tell me, when you're on the air, you're not at that job. So it was hard differentiating.
Yeah, you were like in the other job, you're like, hi, I'm Andrew G.
Yeah, well, not even Andrew G. It's just like, hi, I'm Andrew. Like, you're more professional.
Yeah, and I mean,
on the radio, it's like, you just got to be yourself. And that's
one of the things that people have. I mean, I never really, because it's something like, hey, Andrew, I don't want to touch that like subject. Is like, I don't feel like it's, I didn't think of it because, I'm just, regular guy on the radio, have my family and my son and everything. And then when somebody who's from that community comes and tells me, hey, thank you for putting somebody on the air that's like me, then they feel, and it's something you should be proud of,
No,
because
I am, definitely,
a lot of kids that look up to you, a
Right.
lot of kids, you know.
But you know what's so crazy? Like, speaking on that for just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, I think it's great. You know what I mean? That people look up to me like maybe as the gay figure that was on the radio, whatever. But like, to me, it's just hard to relate back, because I'm just
You weren't
being
thinking
honest.
about it.
Well, not even that, but I was fortunate enough, like, where coming out wasn't hard for me.
Yeah.
I never faced anything negative by being gay. Like, nobody's ever beat me up for it. You know what I mean? Like,
And to be honest with you, I was kind of scared somebody was going to say something. I mean, look where we live. I mean, you see negative comments. That was one of my biggest fears.
Right.
And I didn't want you to get hurt by that, because that can be, people are ugly.
Yeah.
And people can make ugly comments.
Right.
And that was one of my greatest fears. But there's other jocks also.
Okay.
You know, you got the guys on the Kid Craddock show. There's one of I think it's.
I met him. Oh my God. Part-time Justin?
Yeah, Part-time Justin.
Really
He's
nice guy. Yeah.
And I think people like that. That you guys are.
Yeah.
You're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really brave and really strong on your part.
I just inspire, or I just try to tell everybody, just be yourself. But then again, like, I'm just, it's hard for me to say that, because I didn't face anything negative being gay. Like, I've never been beat up for it. An opportunity's never been taken away from me for it. Like, I've just been regular.
Yeah.
So it's hard to relate to that person who is having a hard time growing up gay.
And there's
you know, and so, but if they see me on the radio or running a podcast and say, I can do this, if he can do it, that's cool. But like, when it comes to the other things, like, I hope that I can at least try and help you get through whatever is hard about being that way. Like, maybe, I don't know what it's like for your family to like disown you for being gay.
Yeah,
Like, I just don't.
Yeah,
nobody cared. Nobody in my life cared. You know.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I told you. You have the power of the mic.
Yeah.
And you can use it for good or bad.
Right.
And it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. You can talk your shit about everybody and not give a fuck about anything.
Nah.
But you can be motivating people.
Yeah.
And I think that's also great. I mean, you did it without even knowing.
Yeah,
So
but that
that's
is
great.
cool.
That's awesome.
You know what? Kind of to just digress for a minute. I didn't know that there were people who work in radio who do not get paid for it.
Yeah. There's people that don't.
That is absolutely crazy to me, because
They do it as a hobby, maybe.
Well, no, because
Yeah.
like I knew of a person who worked in radio for 3 years, and then they got let go, but they were never getting paid. And I was just like, no way. Like actually, a DJ who worked for us a long time ago was surprised to know how I was getting paid so early on. Because I will say, for the first like 7 months or so, I was an intern. So I wasn't getting paid. But
There's some DJs that don't get paid, but they promote their business. They're allowed to do that. Very fine line. And
it's kind of like a trade thing.
Yeah, because they I understand some of the shows that we have, they don't get paid. Some do.
Right.
Don't. I don't want to any names.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the thing is that they benefit in their business, and they also benefit when we have clubs and they're highly recommended, and they're the ones that go and are the actual DJs at the nightclubs we're at.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
So it benefits in a way. I mean, it's that. I mean,
I gotta get paid. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, Andrew has to get paid. Because he
I don't
drives a
work.
lot.
Listen, I don't work for free.
No.
At all. You cannot tell me you're gonna put me to work, but there's no money behind it.
Yeah.
Y'all learned the hard way on that one.
Yeah, no, and it's great. I mean, you are a hard worker.
That's where I'm at with it. Yeah.
Stuff that,
Well, I feel like you should get paid for things.
Of course you do.
You know,
I mean, you're not
a.
if you don't have a trade off, if you don't have a business, hey, yeah. But if you
It's just a public affair.
Yeah, the public affair. I mean, that's great. But it's a great show. I've heard nothing but good compliments on it. Yeah,
I appreciate it. You know,
again, I have nothing to do with it because people.
Jimmy is not my boss of the public affair. There's only one person who's my boss of the public affair, and that's me, darling. Okay, so Jimmy, you know, you and I. So I used to stay at Junction 84, and I told this story when Manny Cardenas was here. And you know what? So Jaime was the DJ at Latino Night, which if I go to any nightclub, it has to be Latino music. I want reggaeton, salsa, merengue, bachata.
Perreo.
Yeah, okay, like that. Like I want, you know what else I love too, but nobody here plays it? Jamaican dance hall. Like Beanie Man, Sean Paul. I love dance
I'll throw
hall.
in some Sean Paul.
You have, yes.
Yes.
So me and Jaime used to, not me and Jaime, but I used to go to Junction 84 quite often, and I didn't know. And so we had this conversation that Jaime told me a little bit behind the scenes stuff that he had to like have a security guard kind of watch me off to the side because they thought that maybe I would like cause a, or like, why don't you tell the story?
Well, the problem is that I would, I didn't want anybody to do any harm to you, because you were partying. You never know. There's some people that are anti, homophobic.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I didn't. And I told the cop, hey, watch him. He's cool. Watch him. And he goes, no, he's having a great time. I said, yeah, make sure for the first couple of times. Afterwards, it was fine. Everybody loved you there. And I never seen anybody twerk with 2 drinks and not spill a drop.
Whatever.
You were on the dance floor. You were like, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know about twerking. First of all, I don't like twerking.
Well, I don't know, but
I could throw my ass down on the dance floor. But
it was pretty much on the floor.
I hate when fucking dudes twerk. I cannot stand it.
Well,
like when a man twerks, no, I can't do it. Like it's so unattractive to me. But I can see where you're coming from with that, and thank you for that. But I just wanted to say, like, when I go out and stuff, I don't really bother anybody, and I can get like, there's people who are just looking for trouble. Period.
I was more concerned about the other people.
Yeah, I got you. But like for me personally, like every time I go out,
you're
like,
a party animal.
I get along with everybody. I'll buy you a drink if you're gonna start a fight with me.
You're a fun person.
Yeah, I just like I don't.
Well, you almost started a fight once.
I told that story with that chick.
Yeah, you were actually more security guard.
I was more security guard for Pati. Yeah. We told the story when Manny. We're going to talk about it because you're here. Manny Cardenas was here when I told the story. I'm going to tell it again. Me and Pati went out because I think you were going to try and hire her for Latino. Was that what it was?
She was gonna, but she already had other plans to move.
Okay.
She was helping out. She was learning the trade.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah. Well, either way, she was like a part of it. And,
she was from the beginning.
I remember you telling me, "Oh, this is Pati. Like y'all should hang out," and we did. And so we hung out that night. And then her and my other friend. Oh God, he's gonna Tony, they were just dancing regular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, whatever. And this girl comes out of nowhere. And y'all should know before I tell the story, I am not a fighter. I do not fight. I don't condone fighting. If I can't solve my issues with you using our words, I want nothing to do with it. Yeah. I'm just going to put that out right now. But in this instance, it was a little different because, no, I'm being serious. In this instance, it was a little different because the girl broke them up.
Yeah.
First of all, M's on her hands. Like, honey, the school bus left already.
She pushed her.
I did not push her.
No, she pushed
her. Oh, she did push Pati. Yeah, she did. And she kind of just like pushed her out of the way to get the guy's number or whatever. And I can't name the other girl because she's really involved in like church and stuff. But I love her. I love her. And we were sitting off to the side. I was like, do you see her? Do you see that bitch?
You took off like a missile.
I did because like I registered it. It had nothing to do with drinking that night. Nothing.
No, it was like
in
your
my
friend.
mind, I registered it as bullying, which I don't fuck with. And so I went up to her. I was like, you can get out of here. Like that was so rude of you because poor Pati's not going to do anything.
No.
She's just like off to the side, like, okay, I guess. Like whatever. And the guy is like,
no, trust me, Pati can handle herself.
Okay. I wouldn't know because she's super sweet. But and the guy came up to me. He's like, yo, I don't even want that girl calling because he did later on that night. She was calling him and we had to like block her number. That was me. Okay. And so yeah, the girl just like kind of got in our faces and stuff.
I stepped in.
Yeah, and Jaime's like, what is the matter with you? I was like, tell that bitch to get the hell out of here.
I didn't know what was going on. Then next thing you know, you punched the wall. I'm like, what the?
Jimmy, I did not punch the wall. I was upset.
Well, no, it's okay though. But you had every right to be upset. It wasn't you.
She was out of line.
She was being a bitch. She was being ugly, mean.
First of all, you had M's on your hands, so it was time for you to go home anyway. It's 2:00 in the morning.
When
your mom's looking for you.
M means minor, but she was nowhere being the minor.
Oh, wasn't she?
No, she was nowhere being the minor.
So that means she can't. I don't know. Anyway, she was telling me meet her outside, and I was just like, yeah, I'll go outside, but I didn't because once again, first of all, I'm not gonna fight her. She looks like she's about $110. You know what I mean? And then at the time I was pushing 300 pounds, so like no, I was not gonna do that. Was I bigger that day? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, we had a really good time. I mean, I had a good time that night, but like that was the one time ever I went out to Junction 84 and had like a confrontation because I'm just like, you bitch, you know what I mean? And Jaime came up to me like because he was DJing, and he's like, "What's the matter with you?"
No, I didn't say. I said, "Hey, everything okay?"
Whatever. Yeah, and I was just like, "No, everything's fine. It's just that girl over there is being a bitch, and I don't give a fuck." And this and that.
Yeah, I should have seen his face. He was like mad.
But Jaime had to talk to me afterwards, and he was like, "I appreciate you like looking after Pati and stuff, but you have to remember like." A lot of people at the club didn't know that I worked for you.
Yeah.
And I was representing the station regardless of whether I wanted to be or not. So, I can't just be out there fighting with people. And, everybody's like, oh, that's that guy who works for
It was Manny's birthday, right?
Wasn't it? No.
Yeah, it was Manny's birthday.
I don't remember, man.
It was Manny's birthday.
It was Manny's birthday. Yes, it sure was because we went out to this.
Yeah,
yes. Okay. Yes, it was. So, I mean, you DJ'd there for a long time.
Yeah, I DJ. I was the MC for a long time, did the live mix. With DJ Lasser.
Okay.
And we lost Herman this year to COVID.
Oh.
His dad,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know who that was, but.
They were a big part of Asabache back in Harker Heights.
Okay.
And then they closed that down, and they moved to Waco with Alasan.
Yeah.
And then they shut that. It changed over to Junction 84.
Okay.
But I started DJing there when they first opened with Barroco, which was later Evolution, and then later on to Warehouse, Halftime.
Yeah, it's been everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
The Latin stuff,
Yeah. I fuck with the Latin stuff so heavy. So do you still DJ these days, or is it just
right now because of COVID, we haven't open. I MC at Smiley's, but they shut down.
But do you prefer like DJing more than MCing, or like?
I prefer. Actually, I used to like MCing more, but I love to DJ also.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That is one thing that I never wanted to get into was DJing.
It's totally different from radio.
Well, it is, but not like just making a mix. Because my style of music is so different from what everybody else wants to hear. Because again, I'm going to play the Beanie Mans, the Sean Pauls. I'm going to play all that shit that nobody here listens to.
Yeah.
And to me, I didn't want to grow. I didn't want to be a DJ here in Waco. Now I have MC'd.
Yeah.
Like I MC like personally and stuff like that. But like as far as DJing, mixing and stuff like that, that's never been my thing.
And it's really when you DJ, you don't play for yourself. You play for the.
You play for people. And I can't be desperate enough to play a Baby Shark. I can't do it.
No, I don't play Baby Shark.
Don't come up to me and say, "Can you play Baby Shark?"
What's the name of the song you always wanted to play?
Reggaeton Lento. Reggaeton Lento by CNCO and Little Mix was my shit. Jimmy would play it for like 5 seconds.
I would play it. It's just
Jimmy played 5 seconds just to say that he did.
It was kind of slow.
Because that's my jam. Yo.
But that was your jam.
Okay, if you guys, I want you guys to look up Reggaeton Lento, the remix. It has to be Little Mix featuring CNCO. Okay, Little Mix featuring CNCO.
Yeah, it's one of the first songs.
CNCO, yes.
That we play on Latino.
I love it. And I always had this image in my head that when that song was playing, like I would be in the club and there'd be like this hot Latin dude over there, and we would kind of mix and dance the night that song
Didn't
away.
it happen one time?
No.
The guy didn't know how to dance.
We danced bachata.
Yeah.
I went downstairs and made out with him. I haven't heard from him since.
Okay.
But no, it was a Caucasian dude. He was stiff, that poor thing. He couldn't dance.
I was like, it looked like you were dancing with a broom.
Because he wanted to dance with me. Yeah. He was nice. I can't remember his name. He was really nice. We just haven't spoken since then. But he was there with some Mexican chicks and they were like, "Oh, can you dance with our friend?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." He ended up being like a really good kisser, but like I haven't heard from him since. But I always had this image in my head that we would dance the song away and then we'd separate and never see each other again, and that just never happened for that song. But that guy, we did dance bachata.
I understand. My ex-girlfriend didn't like dancing with me. So
who's my ex-girlfriend?
I'm not gonna go into her name.
I don't even know who
my ex-girlfriend.
Your ex-girlfriend.
My ex-girlfriend, she didn't like dancing.
Oh, okay, I got you.
She said I took big steps.
Oh, I don't know. Listen, I've danced with so many people there, and there was like, it's just whatever. You know what I mean? But I do miss Junction 84. I loved going, and knowing that you were there and that you were my boss, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be good. Regardless, I don't cause trouble, but I was like, no, everybody kind of got to know me on a
everybody got to know you. You made a lot of friends. I loved it. Later on, I saw you party at their wedding.
Sure did.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Are you talking about DJ Renee's or no, DJ Taz's?
Taz's wedding.
Oh,
I saw videos. I was like, I was sitting at home and I'm looking at the Facebook stories. Like, is that Andrew G?
Bro, it was Andrew G. Yo, they gave Cutis was there. We talked about it. They were all, they're on the show, and they introduced me to Buchanan's that night. Never again.
Cutis.
Never again. I love Cutis. But
I heard Cutis show.
Wasn't Cutis was episode 3.
It was a fun show.
I loved him.
I was like, I'm gonna talk to him when I see him.
He was my first video hit over 1,000.
Really?
Yeah. So Cutis, yeah.
I love him. He's a character.
When I always, he's and you know what, he was always one of the other inspirational ones to me in radio too. Like he always because again I knew he had a big name when I started.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people knew. Following.
Yeah, and so I was like, I can't talk to
he's unorthodox on the air. He's not like but he's like he makes it work really great.
Yeah, he's like
really
one of the most humble, nicest people I've ever met. I love him so much. His family, they're all great. The DJs, DJ Taz's wedding was off the chain. You didn't make it that night, did you?
I was working. I was at warehouse.
Okay,
night. But I saw videos and everything.
It was disgusting. I was just a hot ass mess.
But you had fun, man.
I did have fun, but I didn't get laid, and I was pissed.
Oh,
so another thing that I want to talk to you about is that we do a lot of events with Lale.
Yeah.
Like Fiestas Patrias and stuff like that. You seem to make a lot of connections with a lot of bands. Yeah. So like, what's it like getting into that? Like making those connections stuff?
It's a small group of people that people think it's a whole bunch. It's a small group of people that work. A lot of great music promoters that I have met over the years. They live in other states. And they kind of, are working over the years, gave some opportunities to some bands when I was in Austin. Okay. And which was a bigger market. So it kind of opened the doors to me a lot and got to know pretty much everybody in the industry. Okay. They call me Jimmy.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, well, people call you Jimmy. Your real name's Jaime Martinez. Yeah. There's one band that I know, and I have to give them a shout out because I love them. And
Peña Blanca.
It's Conjunta Peña Blanca.
Great band.
My friend Rodolfo Alonso is the singer of it. And then Ivan. I can't remember Ivan's last name. They are a great band. Mm-hmm. And I always, you know what? I always tell the singer, Rodolfo. We call him Pompis, but his name is, I know. Well, that's like his family nickname. Yeah. He's brothers with my best friend's wife, Lupita. And so they're brothers.
I remember you said they were with your friends. Yeah.
So I always told him because I don't think they speak a lot of English, but he can sing really good in English.
They sing really good.
They
sing one song. They do a cover. I forgot the name.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Another Day Without You. That's Abache.
I think are you thinking of somebody else? Are you thinking about?
No, that's Abache. Well, they all do. A lot of these bands they put out English
listen,
songs.
if you guys don't know, it's more like what is that music classified? Is that banda? That's not banda.
No, it's norteño.
Norteño.
It was a time where a lot of norteño bands were releasing English songs just to throw it in there. Okay. And it was really fun. Yeah. For a lot of people.
Well, I loved when they come to Junction 84 because that was the one time I get to go backstage because I know the band. You know what I mean?
with Peña. Yeah, you were outside. We were like chilling out with them.
I was like, Jimmy, because there was a lot of times that sometimes you couldn't let me backstage, sometimes you could. It just depended on the band or whatever.
Sometimes the bands don't want to have, their voice, and they're like,
I got you. Can do it. But with them, I knew it was like, cool, I can go backstage, and I knew them, and they were very nice. And again, shout out to Pompies and shout out to Ivan.
One time, Tony Melendez, you kind of pushed him to the side.
Who?
Tony Melendez.
I don't know who that is.
The guy from Primavera.
I don't know that
he has a really good voice. I think they were playing, and he's like one of the best norteño singers, and you just kind of went like this.
For what?
He was standing in your way. You went to talk to those guys from Peña Blanca. It was hilarious.
Listen, I was never told that story. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I think you were just like, get the heck out of my way.
Well, if I did, my apologies.
Nah, it was no big deal. He was just like.
Yeah, no, I feel what you mean. No, but I loved when they came in.
But it was funny. I thought it was hilarious.
If you guys are into norteños and stuff, that's the genre that they play.
Yeah,
definitely check out Conjunto Peña Blanca.
Definitely.
Ivan, oh God, I can't remember his last name. I want to say Valero, but it's not. Oh, I can't remember. I'm sorry, Ivan. But yeah, they're really great. So I guess, when you put those festivals together, like Fiestas Patrias and stuff
Fiestas
like that,
Patrias.
it's a big-ass headache.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was doing... give me 5 a year.
Okay.
5 festivals. I do 2 with St. Francis, Dia de la Raza, which is the oldest one.
Okay.
I do that, and also Cinco de Mayo at St. Francis.
Yeah.
Then I do Cinco de Mayo downtown.
Okay.
And then, Fiestas Patrias also.
Yeah.
And then I was doing the fair, 2 days at the fair. This year, we were gonna a total of 6. So put those together.
Yeah. So like when you're putting those things together though, like is there like a big stress factor for you? Because I mean you are
a lot.
Yeah. And everybody listen, like Fiestas Patrias is very fun.
It's very
but you
stressful.
guys should see what we have to do beforehand. It's stressful. And I said I'm not fuck with those floats anymore.
Yeah.
Like
getting people, getting the bands to show up at a certain time. And to get bands to show up at a certain time, get the schedule.
That is my favorite part. I love the bands though, because we so Bud Light sponsors, is that correct? Or
sometimes they do.
Some beer company. Sometimes we get beer.
Shout out to our sales department.
Remember when I was giving beer away to the bands and y'all were getting mad at me?
Well,
was that a situation?
Yeah, it was a situation. That's one of the reasons.
I thought it was lots of fun.
When you were getting the beers or when you took the beer?
No, first of all, I'd never taken beer.
No, you took your own beer.
I took my own beer.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, we're not supposed to say that, but I did take my own beer. And
yeah,
so
that's
one
why.
time,
that's one of the. That's one of the. People want to know. That's one of the reasons why we butt head.
Yeah,
I'm like Andrew. This place has a liquor license. You bringing it?
Well, I think the thing was that
it was called to my attention. I wasn't even paying attention to.
I think that you were under the impression that I was giving away.
No, it wasn't that. Okay. It wasn't that. It was never.
Regardless,
that.
I mean, it's in the past.
It's in the past years. No, but that, somebody else brought it up to me. So
yeah, okay, but anyway, I did one time give the beer away to the people that were in the bands because they were cute.
That's fine.
I mean, so yeah. But anyway, look, Jimmy. I mean, I really appreciate you coming onto the Public Affair. I mean, it's because of you that Andrew G kind of exists. The name exists. I've had my shot in radio because you hired me.
It has nothing to do with me. Andrew G is who made Andrew G.
Thank you.
You're the one that made yourself. I'm not here to kiss your ass or anything like that. No,
that's fine.
I mean, I could have put you on the air. You could have sucked.
Yeah.
You probably would have been doing something. But no, you built a crowd. You got the crowd. You have people follow you. I saw what you did at, what was it, when I took my son and my goddaughter to, what band you were there? It was in Dallas. You showed up with your friend.
Oh, God. I can't. Was it Peña Blanca?
No. It was in Dallas, an English concert.
Was it Fifth Harmony?
Yes.
Was it Fifth Harmony?
Next thing you know, I turn around and I see Andrew G standing on top of chairs, giving a snapshot to everybody, and everybody was writing down their snapshot. I was like, what the hell?
Because we were in the back, remember?
Yeah, we were in the concert. Yeah, we got nosebleed tickets, but they were free. Yeah. But I was like, look at this guy.
Yeah.
He has.
Well, we were lit too.
But everybody, you were the. I mean, more people watching you partying than they watch Fifth Harmony.
Because we're in the back, we barely hear the band. You barely see them. So I was like, let's do it.
And they have like 2 or 3 songs at the end. But
yeah, no, I love Fifth Harmony. But anyway, no. I have to thank you on this show, like for giving me an opportunity to be on the radio, for hiring me. 5 years in the game, we're going on 6 next year, and I mean, I'm still here. You haven't gotten rid of me just yet. I'm happy that we got to have our private conversation.
Yeah, that's
outside
great. It was
a
good conversation,
and we got to do it over Butter My Biscuit, which is amazing, right?
Yeah,
I put you on.
Yeah.
Okay, so great. Shout out to them. So, is there anything like what's next for you? Is there anything I'm missing here? Or?
Well, we survived COVID right now. After we do that, hopefully get everything back to where we're at in growth stations.
Okay.
Latino 93.5, 99.1, which is my personal baby that I launched.
Yeah, you did launch Latino
93.5.
That was one of the first reggaeton stations that I've heard, like Latino music that I've heard. There probably was another one before. If there was,
not in Waco.
Not in Waco. Okay, so I mean, like, so what was that like for you? I guess building that station. Did you build that station, or how did that work?
I pitched the idea to the owner,
Bill McCutcheon.
Bill McCutcheon.
Shout out to Bill. He's the owner who.
He said, what format are we going to put it with this station? It's a smaller signal. I said, well, the Hispanic market is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Definitely.
It's huge. And I said, this genre, which has Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, Ozuna, it's huge. They're crossing over. J Balvin is like all over the place. Maluma
Absolutely.
with The Weeknd. Now
Maluma.
And so we launched that station later. We got a signal in Killeen 99.1. I'm like, there's a big Puerto Rican. Shout out to the Puerto Rican.
The Boricuas, what's up?
My boy, Tus Panas, Sky Delirium. And then I ask you, hey, what is this food? Thinking you're Puerto Rican. I don't know, Jimmy.
Because you be coming with some food that I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Well, I go to a Puerto Rican place.
Well, they created their own thing because I've never grew up on that.
They're all Puerto Ricans. They're like,
but they're probably like real ass Puerto Rican. I'm from New York, so it's like.
Well, a lot of them are New Yorkers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of New Yorkers. Shout out to all the Puerto Ricans out there. They're a great community. I love when I go down there.
You know we throw down.
El Rincón de Lechón. I love their food.
Okay.
Yeah, really
That's
good.
in Killeen?
It's in Killeen. It's more of a fried.
We can give them a shout out. Excuse me. Yes, you sure can. Give them their little shout out.
They gave me free pollo, so.
Okay.
So remember I showed you a picture. You were like, "Oh my god, I need to go."
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, because we don't have any Puerto Rican restaurants here in Waco, which we totally need. Well, I think we did have one, but poor things, they didn't last. But I think, well, no shade, they just didn't, and people don't understand the difference between like Mexican food and Puerto Rican
different.
food.
It's totally different. Mexican food is more
It's
spicy in it, but the Puerto Rican has a different flavor. And it's really good.
I always said, not because I love Mexican food, but I thought that Puerto Rican food focused more on like the seasonings, like the flavor.
Seasoning, the flavor different, and the Mexican's more hot and more spicy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love Mexican food.
Everybody loves Mexican food. If I wasn't Mexican, I'd be eating Mexican food. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's 93.5, 99.1. Power 108 also. It's it's a great station.
Right.
I mean, you, Chrissy, Kid Craddock show, which is still going on, and the Eagle, which is our sister station. John Chapo, he's the PD now.
I love JC.
And great music there. But I think we have a great product, and I think that we do that. We have other stations in other cities, but we focus mostly in Waco and Brownwood.
Definitely. Yeah.
But hey man, I'm glad you're doing this podcast.
Thank you.
Felicidades, how we say in Spanish, And
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think that it's a great. Like I told you, very few DJs have a successful podcast where they're DJs. Usually, when they get fired, they do podcasts too.
Okay. And so I'm kind of jumping the gun.
Yeah,
here.
I do. And
so
also,
I'm not gonna get fired anytime soon. It's just
no, not gonna get fired. No, no fire. No, nothing like that. But it's just one of the things I wanted to comment to you about. And I also want to give you this hat. This is a very special hat. This is John Strong. John Strong is my cousin's son, who's 13, who's battling cancer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's in a second battle for his life right now.
Oh, wow.
Keep him in his prayer, everybody. And I want to give you this so you can kind of represent. He represents. We call him our warrior.
Yeah.
He's strong. He's going through a rough time right now with cancer.
Okay.
And want to give you that so you can show some of the support.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate that.
And I wanted to bring that to you. So.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm prayers to him. And I hope that he'll get better, honestly, because that's an ugly disease to go through.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
It was made by Manny, Manny Cardenas.
Oh, yeah. Manny made we had Manny Cardenas. Yeah, we had him on the show. So he made this hat. He also made me this hat, too.
Oh, awesome.
I love it. We're thinking about selling them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you should.
We should, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
But thank you for this hat. I appreciate it.
But we bought the material. He donated the labor for it. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah, they sold them for funds to help with cancer.
Oh,
so
okay. That's what's up. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. So what's next for you? Anything else that we're missing here?
Just grow the radio stations. Kind of grow with that. The world's changing.
Yeah.
We have. We have other medias now we have to compete with.
Yeah.
And just adjust to that, really.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, Jimmy, thank you again so much for coming on. Thank you again for the opportunity to be on the radio.
Shout out to El Malandrin, who
I love.
He's always eating.
Yeah.
He's always eating.
He's always eating, but he doesn't gain no weight. He's so thin.
He's always there. Like,
I love.
Mira, raza. Bien rico, raza. Bien rico, raza.
For anybody who doesn't know, he is actually Juan
Arjon.
Yeah, Juan Arjon painting who we named earlier. Yeah. Love him so much.
He always tagged me. I'm like, okay, I was like, you should have him on there. Yeah. So, no, he's a great guy.
Well, it was him, and there was just so many other people. And once again, I just want to
it's a pleasure. And I'm glad you're doing this, and you bring a lot of local people because I've met a lot of people through your show that I didn't even know were from Waco. I like those the comic guys and everything.
Oh yeah. They were just a few episodes ago.
The artists,
Armando Ramirez, Joey Gonzalez.
I showed that
Danny
episode
Flores.
to my son, who is a genius when it comes.
You showed
to
it to your son. His son's a little kid, by the way.
Yeah, he's 11. No, I told them about them. I know you guys got a little bit crazy.
Not for the children, okay?
Yeah. No, it wasn't for kids, but I showed him how. I showed him the work. In other words, because I wasn't aware of all their work, and I showed it to him. He was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, I love that.
Are they telling you to wrap it up?
No, they're not. No, I'm over here just fidgety. Yeah. No, I loved having them on the show. They were really great. Yeah. So they were fun.
Episode 25, huh?
This is episode 25.
You didn't think you were going to get this far? Or what do you think?
You know what, Jimmy? I didn't have a lot of expectations when the show started. Yeah. I just thought, okay, I booked like 5 people in advance, like had them commit and say, all right, hey, would you guys do this if I did this? Is like the idea that I have. Yeah. And they said yes. After the first 2 episodes, when I saw what it was, because after the first 2 episodes, I got reached out for my first sponsorship. Yeah. Like for somebody to sponsor the show.
Hey, you got a lot of sponsorships. I'm like, this guy should be in sales.
No, I hate sales. No, but like, honestly, like when I first started, I had no expectations. And then when the numbers were doing what they were doing, and then people were like, oh my God, I love your show.
Hey, that only speaks volumes.
Yeah, and especially like
you're connecting.
Well, especially the sponsors that reach out and said, hey, we want to do ads on your show. Like this show is going to go somewhere. So to me, the fact that people really like this show, like I'm very grateful for that. And I mean, thank you for, again, the opportunity to be on radio. When I started this podcast, I had no expectations because I don't get the ratings in the radio, and I knew they weren't going to coincide together. So
ratings are different. Views are different here. Yeah. It's YouTube and
even when I see like 200 people viewed, like that means a lot to me. You know, because I sold
that's 200 people to spend 45 minutes an hour listening to you.
And that's what I'm saying. For them. I thought like when I first started, it's gonna be like 45, 50. I was like, okay, that'll be good.
It's one of the bands that I love. Los Huracanes del Norte. Always tell this to the people. Gracias por venir. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Because you can be somewhere else. Exactly. You can be doing something else these 2 hours, but you came to see our music. And I always kept that in mind when I first saw them. Like, hey, whenever somebody tells me, hey, I love your show, I always feel like, thank you so much. Yeah, when everybody tells me, hey, Jaime, great this, or I love your station. Right. Hey, thank you for spending the time listening to me.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm very grateful for all of it.
And thank you for the Shiner Bock.
Well, of course. Yeah, you better take that home because I'm not taking it home. No, I don't keep bear in my house because I think drinking by yourself is like depressing. So.
Well, I'm kind of drinking by myself right now.
No, you're with me. So okay. I was gonna have one, but I'm trying to save my room for dinner. So, and that's why
I'm gonna have tacos. So
okay, good. Jimmy, thank you again so much for coming on to the Public Affair. I was really happy. I can't wait.
One more thing.
What's up?
One more thing. I want to say. Thank you to DJ Taz, Rene, Curtis, all those guys for giving shout outs to me for for radio. And I was like, wow, when I heard them say,
on the Public Affair.
Yeah. Yeah. When I heard them, because I never, we used to listen to Jaime, we used to do this. And I'm like, wow, I never had that conversation with them. And I thought that was pretty cool to hear that part.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I never got their perspective.
You've been named several times on this show.
Yeah, no, I was going to start doing shots every time. Jaime.
And I love having, yeah.
We're going to do a game, Jaime shot game. I'm just kidding.
We'll do it next. How about when we do our roundup part 2s, we can do that.
Okay.
I'll say your name like 50 times so you can say 50 shots. Yeah. To this day, I've never seen Jaime drunk. So he's seen me drunk though.
Yeah, it's very difficult. You should have me and Cutis on like an episode 70 or something.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Both of us at the same time.
When we get to episode 70.
Because I got some things to say. I'm just kidding.
Oh really? Oh.
I'm just joking. I heard how he was trying to, I was just playing.
Keep it between us, right?
No. Well, me and him always tease each other.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Thank you again for coming on. Before we wrap up, I do want to give a shout out to a couple more of our sponsors. To Elite Barbershop with Sid Rodriguez. He's located on Hewitt Drive. You can download the Cut app or call the number on the screen to book. Super Bomb Barber, he cuts my hair. He also has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, and Santos Cordova over there making you look all cute. So make sure you hit up Elite Barbershop on Hewitt Drive if you guys need a haircut. Also to Soko Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're located on Franklin Drive. They offer team, small group, and individual skill training. They also have open play every Friday nights. They also specialize in soccer training with pros like George De Leon, and they have fitness training with Dominic Gutierrez and Isaac and London Carrillo. And I don't know if you know, but I'm down almost 40 pounds here.
Yeah, I didn't recognize you there. I was like, who the heck is that guy? Yes. Who the hell is in that guy in the studio? You were like, who's this guy? And
yeah, like, make sure you guys call the number on the screen.
I was about to call 911, and I'm like, it's Andrew.
It's just me.
No, it's a big difference. I don't see him every day. I don't see him every day. And then I see him 30 pounds later. Like,
well, let me tell you, that was Soko Soccer Academy. I'm telling you, that was.
Hey, they're doing a great job, man.
I had them on the show.
Yeah. When was the last time you were at this weight?
Bro, I can't remember the last time I was. Right now, I'm in like 250. I can't remember the last time I was 250. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. I cannot remember the last time.
I was surprised you one time you told me your weight. I was like, you don't look that in person. You don't look that big.
Right.
I mean, like,
well, people tell me that I carry it well, but I feel better now that since I've been working out there. Yeah. And I had them on my show actually. They were I can't remember what episode it was. George De Leon, Isaac Carrillo, and Dominic Gutierrez, Soko Soccer Academy. We had a good time.
Yeah, that's great. And also thank you also for your advice on video games because sometimes,
of course.
Yeah, my son's mom calls me like, ¿Qué quieres este cabrón?
Big shout out to Laura because I love her. I love your baby mama. Yeah. So again, thank you for coming. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Public Affair. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at The Public Affair. Thank you guys again so much, and we got more coming up. And don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.